Hola, buenos días. Te voy a entrevistar a Miss Carla, de los viajes, la que se encarga de todos los viajes internacionales. Miss, ¿cuáles son los viajes más populares?
Pues mira, de semestre les gusta mucho irse al de Suiza, Francia y Italia, y en verano les gusta mucho Cannes, y les gusta mucho Heidelberg, y les gusta mucho Canadá también. Y en invierno cada vez les gusta más San Francisco, Vancouver y también Barcelona.
Ok, Miss, muy padres todos esos.
Todos son padres, no importa en el periodo que se quieran ir, todos los lugares están padres. Y últimamente han preguntado mucho por Australia también, que ya lo retomamos, y Japón ha tenido mucho éxito también últimamente.
Ok, y Miss, ¿qué ocupas para entrar a un viaje?
Pues mira, empecemos porque necesitas el promedio. Es bien importante que le echen ganas desde el principio, porque si se quieren ir un semestre necesitan 80 mínimo de promedio, si se quieren ir un verano necesitan mínimo 75 y si se quieren ir un invierno necesitan mínimo 70. Entonces tener buenas calificaciones también, porque las inscripciones son para todos a nivel nacional, entonces de pronto parece que hay 60 lugares, pero son 60 para todas las prepas del TEC, entonces es mejor que tengas buenas calificaciones para que te toque buen turno de inscripción. Necesitas en algunos programas estar cursando el idioma y necesitas también estar regular en tus materias, o sea, que no tengas muchas materias reprobadas, ser alumno regular y buscar la información a tiempo para que no te ganen el lugar y tengas varias opciones de dónde te quieres ir.
Pues estarse atento para todo eso, Miss.
Exactamente, venir conmigo a tiempo, revisar sus correos, venir a la feria de programas internacionales, cada semestre tenemos una, y estar al pendiente de de todo lo que ponemos con información para que sepan bien cuándo se deben de inscribir, que no se les pase su fecha de inscripción.
Excelente, Miss, muchísimas gracias por todo.
A ti.
Create a new Photoshop file. According to the instructions on Canvas, it will be 7 by 8 inches, 72 dpi. Then save it on your computer as textportrait_your ID number.psd. Open the image you plan to use, select the area that you want to include, then copy it and paste it into the newly created file. Make the adjustments necessary either by going to Edit, Transform, and then Scale, or on the Properties panel. Also, on the Properties panel, you can scroll down and click on Remove Background. Select the bottom layer to create a black background by applying the Paint Bucket tool. Now, you need to split the image into two sides. You may use Photoshop rulers to calculate the middle. Once you have split the sides, duplicate the layer so you have one layer for the left side and another one for the right side. Use the type tool to include the quotes you want to use on your work. Make sure that the text is below the right side of the image. Then, right-click on that layer and select Clipping Mask. Go to the left side of the image and apply an outer glow. The settings will depend on the image. Then select the text layer and apply an inner glow. Also, the settings will depend on the kind of font that you have chosen. Make some last adjustments and then go to File and Save to save the changes.
This is the breaking news of Tec de Monterrey, Santa Catarina, and we're gonna talk about the first news, which is that Tec added new ways for us to stay hydrated. We can see that Tec has added a new bagel shop. I think it is really good. Also, Famous Fries has gone away and now Perez took over. We can see they removed the blue poles that were there. Guys, this week and the next one are gonna be quizzes. So I wish everyone good luck and good luck with the grades. I know you will do great. Also, please try not to copy on the exams on the quizzes because that is a very bad thing to do. Those were the news. I'll see you next week with more news.
Welcome to this week's news coverage. Here at Tec Santa Catarina, a jewelry stand came by right in front of the second building. Gold and silver necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and rings were being sold. Each item is created uniquely for customers to come by and take a look and maybe end up buying a piece. The style ranges from simple to chunky wear depending on your liking. Personally, I really like the earring clip-ons because you don't actually need to have a second piercing to wear it. You should come by and take a look.
Welcome students to this very short video where I will be explaining how to use your pen tool in part 2 of your key activity. I will be doing a very short and simple example. So the first thing we need to do is look at the instructions on your assignment. So as we can see, we are asked to create a new canvas with 8 by 11 inches dimension. Plus it's got to be 300 dpi resolution. So just keep in mind that we're talking about inches as units. So let's go to Photoshop and let's create new file, and let's go and make sure that we're working with inches as units. So we need to type 8 by 11 inches height and a resolution of 300. Now that we are ready, just click on create, and now we have a brand new canvas where we can start working with our key activity. Now you're supposed to choose one of your best sketches you created, and that's going to be the one you're going to trace in Photoshop. In my case, for this example, I sketched something which is not a deity, a god, because I wasn't assigned one, but I did a sketch of my dog Coco. So I'm going to bring it in. So here it is. I called the file my best sketch, and I'm going to bring it into Photoshop. Our sketch, in my case is a sketch I did for this example. I'm going to drag and drop it, and it's going to create a brand new layer, which is called my best sketch. I'm going to go to background, I'm going to take out the lock, and here is my best sketch. Now, in the case of the image I just brought in, we don't need it to be a smart object. So we can just control click it and rasterize the layer. This is where we start tracing. So what we need to do is just go to the pen tool, which is this one right here, or you just need to select the letter P on your keyboard and it'll select the pen tool. Now, I do suggest that you create several layers while tracing. Don't try to create all the traces in one layer, because if something happens to that layer, you lose everything. So usually what I do is I create a new layer, and let's say I'm gonna trace the head. So I'm going to create a layer called head and make sure it's selected. Select the pen tool, and on the top part of the Photoshop screen we can see that you have the pen tool right here selected, which means it is selected, and then we have a little drop down menu that if we click it we can choose between path or shape. I'm going to create a shape, and we can also decide if we want it to be filled with color or transparent at the moment. For now I'm going to leave it transparent, and we can also define the stroke. The stroke is the color of the outline, the color and the width of the outline. So in this case we can choose a color for the outline. I'm going to choose for this demo purposes, I'm going to choose a color red so we can see it very clearly, and I'm going to click OK. And also the stroke includes the width of the stroke, a thinner or a fatter stroke. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So since I created the first layer called head, I'm going to start tracing it. So I'm just going to start clicking. Now we closed the polygon, and now what we need to do is, since it's already a shape and we already selected the stroke color and the width, and as you can see, if we hide the sketch, we already have the color of the head. We have the outline of the head. Now I can change the stroke and make it thicker so I can see it much better. So let's select my layer right here, and I'm going to move right here. I have a pen tool selected. Let's create a much wider stroke. There you go. Now you can see it very clearly, and this is the first shape I created. Now in this case I don't want it filled with color, I just want the outline, so that's enough for now. Now let's create a new layer, and let's call it left ear. So now I take the pen tool again, make sure that I see if I have color inside the shape or not. In this case I would like to choose a color for the inner ear, and I'm just gonna go and try to create like a brown color, just like that, and there you go. Now in this case I also have the stroke, the outside, so I'm gonna tell Photoshop that I don't want an outside outline in this case. So I just want the filled in shape. So if I hide my sketch layer, now I have two different layers. One is called my head and the other one is called left ear. And that's how you gotta continue working with your images, and then at the end you will have a finished traced image from your sketch. Okay, now I have traced everything. I traced all the parts of my sketch, and I also traced the words because I wanted to show it like if it was hand drawn, and I created a layer for each one of the letters. You need to create one layer per object, and that'll make easier to make changes or delete a specific object. Like for example, if I want to delete the mouth, I can just hide it right now, or I can just backspace and redraw it again. In this case we're done. So I'm gonna turn off the sketch background, and there it is. I'm gonna save this image as t-shirt design as PSD as it is required, and I'm gonna, once it's saved, then I proceed to submit it to your Canvas corresponding assignment space. Thank you, students.
Don't forget to follow our principal of Prepatec Santa Catarina, Miss Jenny Kukushka, on Instagram to find out more about what's happening on our Prepatec. Have a great day!